What's going on, everybody? This is Jeremiah. Disclaimer: YouTube, don't disclaim me, please.
Now, as you may know, the N-word has been a topic of interest on this channel for quite a while, so I decided to share my philosophical thoughts. And as someone who's heavily mixed, like I'm biracial, I feel like I have a right to talk about these
I didn't know
since
that.
I can speak on both sides. I'm Afro-Germanic, with one side of me being West African at 4%. Probably. I mean, I don't know. They say that everybody's got like a bit of West African in them or something, right? So hey, there's probably 4% in me, you know? Everybody's got a bit of that N-word power in them, right? That's where I like to think mine comes from. So as someone who's clearly on both sides here, we have to ask the question, is it wrong to use especially the N-word? Now, if I was someone like Jordan Peterson, I'd start to ask even more questions like, what do you mean by and which N-word exactly? But we're not that old white Canadian, so I'll just tell you, it depends on the context. Now, let's say hypothetically speaking, there was a black man who just so happened to be minding his own business. And then some white guy, he came up to him and called him the N-word. I think we all can agree on the facts that it would be defined as messed up. And some would even say wrong. But in fact, I personally would go even further to say, if the black guy started to insult the white guy for his race because he was called the N-word, I think we could agree it's reasonable. We can even say that it's justified. And the experts of the past that observed this would call it quote-unquote retaliatory racism. And by experts, I mean me, who just made it up right now because it makes logical sense. It's kind of like self-defense. There's a caveat though. I believe that principally this concept is true for all races. I'm personally an egalitarian, and I think this is true across all races with all. I believe that the N-word is no worse of a than any of the others. They are all on the same level. Either we can use all of them or we can use none. You cannot pick one or the other. You have to be consistent. Either nobody's allowed to use any of them or it's a free-for-all. We gotta be fair here, guys. We can't keep one race handicapped and restricted. But I know there's gonna be some leftists in the comments saying, but Remnant, you aren't taking into account the history and the power of the N-word spell. The N-word spell is so powerful that it has kept black people down for hundreds of years. This spell is unbelievably more powerful than any white that exists. So when you racially insult a white person, that is not comparable to the power and affinity of the N-word.
That word has kept us down.
Which is just a long-winded way of saying they get more offended when you say the N-word than anything they can use against you.
Like when other races, like when we say it, like with the A, sometimes I don't know about the R, but the A, like it's completely fine. Like what's up with this? Like, yo, shut the up. But when other races say it, it's a complete meltdown. Like, oh, you racist, bigoted. This is that. Yo. How can a word offend you that much? Yeah, okay, it hurts. But guess what? I don't mean to take that out. But you're so offended by one word that it completely shuts you down. That's crazy to me. And like, I as a black person here, but it's just like, oh, I'm just continuing the video, man.
Literally, that's it. The whole ramble they go on about history and the oppression, that is simply their explanation for it, for why it's justified. But at the end of the day, it's just they get more offended by it. They're just elaborating on why they get more angry. So their argument really at the end of the day is, it offends them more. That's literally it. That's it. That's all they got. Since black people find the N-word more offensive, it makes it more wrong. The level of offensiveness decides how evil and cursed the word is. But it's bullshit. They don't actually care about it. They don't actually believe it. The only reason for why they say racism affects white people less than it does a black person is to get white people to tolerate racism against them. The left wants to be racist and incredibly hateful to you without you being able to do anything back.
Well, mainly politically, because if you say like one thing that's against or like different from their point of view, they're automatically called like a racist or something else from the left, basically. And it's just dumb.
If a black man insults someone for being white, he's gotta take it like a champ. If the black man says the most vile, racist, horrible thing imaginable to that person, they'll excuse it away by saying, well, black people have it really hard given the history of racism.
Black people can be racist too. Everybody, white people, Hispanics, Asians, Arabs, Africans, we all can be racist. Everybody's racist. Nobody nobody's out of it. Everybody's racist. I think, everybody's racist. Everybody's racist. Black people are racist too. Matter of fact, we might be the most racist ones. Because, what he said. If one word offends us from other people, if a different race group says the N-word, it's a storm. It's a storm of just emotions riding fluid. Like, bro, I know the word got some history, but bro, move on. It's a word. Fill out. If someone called me an N-word, if another black person called me an N-word, I'm just like, oh, what's up? If another race person called me with racial intent, or which is chilling, I'm just like, I'm surprised, but I'm just let bygones be bygones. I'm not gonna care. I'm simply not gonna care.
But you can't hold it against them for saying hateful, vile things against you. You gotta turn the other cheek like Jesus. Aren't you a Christian? But on the other hand, if you were to say one word back to them, one word, and we know what that word is, they will try to ruin your life forever. All of this is to get you to accept being discriminated against, hated, and attacked, while you can't even say one word back to them, which you can prove. Let me ask you, what if a white person said to these leftists, when there's racism against white people, I find it really offensive. I hate it. It's horrible. I want them to stop. It's wrong. What's their response? What do they say? Obviously, they all have the exact same response. Well, as a white person, I don't get offended when they say it. So what's your issue? Which is just bullshit, and you can prove it. If there was a black person that said the exact same thing, I don't find the N-word racist. I don't really care that much when people say it. It's not a big deal. What would they say to that black person as a white leftist? Those leftists would instantly turn into white hooded wizards, and they would educate him on the power of the N-word, how evil this dark magic is.
Didn't Malcolm X legitimately warn us about white liberals? Bro, there's a whole book about beware of the white liberal. Malcolm X warned us about white liberals, bro, and we're listening to them like, bro, come on, bro. We gotta do better. We have to do better.
How he should fear it and hate it. He should understand the power this evil magical spell has on the minorities. But what about white people? They go even further with white people. They say, are you really butthurt over being called a white Why does it make you mad? Are you really that fragile? They'll start to gaslight you. They'll make excuses for why it's so horrible and offensive to say one N-word while excusing racism made against you. This is bullshit. Here is the cut clean truth. It has nothing to do with how offended people get over words. It has nothing to do with how it actually affects people, that people find the N-word more offensive. No, it has nothing to do with that. If there was an N-word for white people, it was just as bad and offensive. These leftists would use it all day, every day. Hassan has made it a point to literally read out all the slurs that exist against white people, and even categorize a tier list for them. Imagine if the races were swapped. There would be no end to their outrage, and you would get instantly banned. But again, they don't care, because these leftists literally just hate white people. That's why it's fine for them to use slurs against you, to hate you, while you can't do anything even remotely as bad to them. Again, if there was an N-word for white people, they wouldn't care. All they would say is, well, white people owned slaves in the past, so you deserve it. You who did nothing wrong to deserve this. Because the new original sin that exists with them has nothing to do with Adam and Eve eating an apple. It's with the fact that you're born white. That's your original sin to these people. These arguments are not built on rationale and logic. The sole purpose of them is designed to gaslight you and to make you tolerate racism and hatred against you. I mean, when a police officer shoots a black man in self-defense, what will the
BLM, BLM. When it's black on black, you hear crickets. You hear crickets. I'm so dumbfounded on that. If a white cop kills a black person on the street, but the black person didn't listen to every step what the white cop said, and so he gets aggravated, and they're like, yo, well, you can't talk to me. I'm like, bro, just listen to the cop, bro. That's how you got arrested. Just listen, and that's it. Just listen, bro. Just listen. Be calm and just listen. If there's a white cop shooting a black guy, you hear BLM riot in the streets until you get the full video, the constant video. The dude wasn't complying with the officer. If it's black on black, you hear nothing. No BLM, no nothing. Crickets, bro. It's crazy. It's really is crazy.
The leftists say there's going to be an uproar. They're going to say this is evidence of evil systemic racism perpetrated by white people against minorities. Meaning, if you're white, you literally caused this. You are responsible for that person's death. Their blood is on your hands. But when a black person kills a white person, well, you probably shouldn't care. You don't know the context. I mean, that white person could have said the N-word. You just don't know. Have you done your research? All of this is why when somebody says the N-word, I don't care at all. The left never speaks against racism done against white people. In fact, they're the people who do it and push it. The left is literally making racism against white people mainstream. That is their whole goal. That's all they care about. I mean, they're literally willing to accept misogyny against women as long as you're hating white people in the process. I mean, Karen. Imagine if we had a racial term used to address black women, used to address their stereotypical behavior, whatever that might be. I couldn't have a possible clue. And we called it the Shaquila. The left would say anybody who uses the term Shaquila is an evil, racist, white supremacist. While on the other hand, they're perfectly fine with calling any white woman that slightly offends them as a Karen, which is racial in its nature. Look at the definition right now. It's strictly used to refer to a white woman, but the left would lose their shit if you came up with a term just like that for black people, if it be Shaquila or Tyrone. Because in the end, they don't care about racism. They just hate white people as the oppressor class. Because in their eyes, white people are the bourgeois and all the minorities are the proletariat, and they need to rise up against their oppressors. That's what's going on, and they hate you. They hate you for the color of your skin. That's it. In the beginning, I said that context matters. That decides whether it's wrong or not. But in general, no, I don't really care. It's just a word, an insult. That's it. Now, if somebody insults you out of the blue, you don't deserve it, then it's wrong. It's wrong regardless of the slur or insult being used. Principally, that's how it works. But if, for example, somebody's like attacking you, they deserve it. Like they're kneeing you in the stomach. You have full right to insult them back and expect to be kicked off the plane and insulted while you're at it. But with how things generally are right now, with how there's racism against white people that the left does not give a flying fuck about, I'm really not incentivized to care or seek out and fight this racism. I got enough to worry about as a white man in 2025. That's what I'm thinking about. And I think a lot of people on my channel will disagree with this. I wouldn't be shocked if I lose quite a few subscribers from this. But guess what? I'm going to be honest with you about what I believe, who I am. And you can choose to continue watching me or not. But I'm not going to build a channel on a false image of what I am or what I believe. But this is who I am. This is what I believe. And you can choose to do what you wish with that. Do you agree with me or disagree with me? Are you going to unsubscribe from me or are you going to watch me despite disagreeing with me? I wonder what the result will be. Also, I do apologize for censoring this word repeatedly. It is cringe, I do admit, but I do believe it is likely that there will be a group of people who falsely report this video. And I think if I censor that one word, it'll be far less likely anything bad will happen to the channel, while I'm still able to freely express my opinions on here. But that's why I did it. But in the end, guess what? Regardless of your race or where you were born, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and that you have a good one.
You know,